Most cruisers avoid inside cabins like the plague. No windows, no views. Some say it's like sleeping in a shoebox at sea. So why do I keep booking them over and over again? Well, after more than 30 cruises and thousands of dollars saved, I can tell you this: inside cabins are one of the most underrated travel hacks in cruising. They're not glamorous, they're not scenic, but they've let me travel farther, cruise more often, and actually enjoy my vacations more. And today, I'm going to show you why I always choose an inside cabin, even when I could afford something bigger. Plus, I'll share the unexpected perks most cruisers don't realize, including how one of my balcony upgrades totally backfired. Let's get into it. Let me be brutally honest. I wouldn't be able to cruise half as much if I didn't choose inside cabins. These rooms have saved me thousands of dollars, and I'm not exaggerating. While everyone else is overpaying for ocean views and balconies they barely use, I'm stretching my budget and going on twice as many cruises. One time, I compared two identical sailings. Same ship, same itinerary. The inside cabin, $900 cheaper. That's an entire Caribbean shore excursion package, flight upgrade, and drink package. All covered by what I didn't spend on a view I'd barely be in the room to see. And here's the real trick no one talks about. Book early, then reprice often. Cruise prices can drop weeks before departure, and if you haven't hit final payment, you can usually rebook at the lower rate. It's how I've saved hundreds of dollars mid-booking, sometimes without lifting a finger. Most people don't realize this, but inside cabins aren't a downgrade. They're a strategy. This might sound crazy, but inside cabins are actually some of the quietest places on the entire cruise ship. Yeah, the rooms people say are cramped and claustrophobic, they're also the only place where you can actually escape the noise. See, on one cruise, I stayed in a promenade view room, a window cabin that looked out over the ship's interior boardwalk. It sounded fun on paper, until midnight karaoke started echoing through the walls. Kids were screaming, glasses clinking. The hallway lights never dimmed. We barely slept. But the next cruise, I went back to my trusty inside cabin. No windows, no noise, no distractions, just pure silence and the darkest sleep I've had in years. And here's the trick. If you book an inside room that's sandwiched between other cabins, away from the theater, elevators, or nightclubs, it becomes your own personal sleep sanctuary. No footsteps above you, no bass thumping from the nightclub, just you, your pillow, and blackout-level silence. I didn't realize how much I valued peace until I finally got it. This might be the biggest surprise of all. Inside cabins, the cheapest rooms on the ship, actually give you the best sleep you'll ever have on vacation. No balcony, no window, no sunlight, and that's exactly why they work. One cruise, I stayed in a balcony cabin facing the ocean. Gorgeous view. But every single morning, the sun came blasting through the curtains at 6 a.m. like a spotlight. I couldn't sleep in, even when I wanted to. The next cruise, I went back to my usual inside cabin, and it was a total game changer. I slept 9 hours straight. No alarms, no light leaks, no interruptions, just pure, uninterrupted blackout. And here's the thing most people don't realize. It doesn't matter if it's 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. In an inside cabin, your body thinks it's midnight. That means instant naps, deeper sleep, and more energy for your actual vacation. On port-heavy cruises, when you're waking up early and walking 10,000 steps a day, that kind of rest is everything. You didn't come on vacation to wake up tired. You came to feel amazing. And ironically, the room that helps you do that is the one most people overlook. You might think an inside cabin is cramped, awkward, and barely livable. But here's the truth. These rooms are way more functional than people give them credit for. And in some cases, they actually work better than bigger cabins. Let me explain. On one of my first cruises, I was nervous about booking an inside room. I imagined bumping into furniture, nowhere to put my things, no space to move. Basically sleeping in a closet at sea. But when I walked in, I was shocked. Everything had a place. The closet was full-sized. The bed was huge. Even the nightstands had drawers, the vanity doubled as a desk, and there was hidden shelving I didn't even notice at first. It was like being in a tiny, perfectly engineered spaceship. Compact but efficient, and way more comfortable than I expected. And here's what no one tells you. Cruise lines know these rooms are small, so they've designed them down to the centimeter. You're not just getting a cheaper cabin, you're getting a space that's been optimized for actual travelers. So unless you're planning to stay in your cabin all day, which, let's be honest, you won't feel like you're missing anything. In fact, you might start wondering, why were you paying more for space you never used? Let's be honest. Have you ever bought something expensive and then felt like you had to force yourself to use it just to feel like it was worth it? That's exactly what happened when I booked my first suite on a cruise. The room was gorgeous, massive balcony, comfy couch, even extra perks like a priority check-in. But halfway through the cruise, something weird happened. I started stressing about whether I was using it enough. Should I be relaxing more in the room? Should I skip this show and enjoy the balcony? Should I stay in and get my money's worth? Suddenly, I wasn't thinking about what I wanted to do. I was thinking about what I should do to justify the price. Now compare that to cruising in an inside cabin. I sleep, I shower, I leave. That's it. And because I'm not paying for luxury, I don't feel obligated to use it. No guilt, no pressure, no second-guessing my fun. I can spend my days exactly how I want, from sunrise at the buffet to late-night karaoke, without once thinking, should I be in my room right now? Sometimes, the best value isn't what gives you more. It's what gives you the freedom to enjoy everything else. What if I told you some inside cabins actually have a view, even though there's no window at all? I didn't believe it at first either, but it's real, and it's kinda genius. On some of Royal Caribbean's newer ships, you can book an inside cabin with something called a virtual balcony, a massive floor-to-ceiling screen that shows you the exact live view from outside the ship. Waves rolling, sunrises, even port arrivals, all in real time. The first time I stayed in one, I walked in and thought, wait, am I in the wrong room? Because it actually felt like a balcony cabin, even though I was paying inside cabin prices. And Norwegian? They've gone a step further. They now have solo cabins with built-in virtual windows just for one-person stays, and they're surprisingly cozy. Now, does it feel exactly like having a real balcony? Of course not. You can't step out, smell the ocean, or hear the wind, but it gives you the illusion of space, and sometimes that's all you need to feel a little less boxed in. It's kind of like cruise ship magic, using tech to make a small room feel big. And if you've ever worried about feeling claustrophobic in an inside cabin, this just might be the feature that changes your mind. Let me tell you about the time I upgraded to a balcony cabin and instantly regretted it. We were cruising around Iceland. Glaciers, fjords, absolutely breathtaking. I figured, you know what? I deserve this. So I paid an extra $300 for a balcony cabin, thinking I'd spend every morning sipping coffee with a view. But the moment we set sail, I realized I had made a mistake. Our neighbors? Let's just say they didn't care about the no-smoking policy, or the fact that marijuana is banned on board. They were lighting up on the balcony, constantly. Every time I stepped outside to enjoy the view, it hit me like a wall. Not ocean breeze, not fresh air, smoke, all day. We reported it. The cruise line handled it professionally, but for those first few days, my expensive upgrade, completely wasted. And that's when it hit me. Inside cabins don't have this problem. No balconies, no smoke drifting in, no awkward eye contact through glass dividers. Just walls. Soundproof. Problem-free. Inside cabins might be small, but they come with peace of mind you can't always buy, even if you upgrade. And if you think that's the only hidden downside of balcony cabins, wait until you hear this next one. All right. Now that you've seen the perks, let's talk about you. Because the real question isn't whether inside cabins are good. It's whether they're right for your cruise. So let me break it down. If you're cruising on a budget, and I mean really trying to stretch every dollar, this is the easiest win of your whole vacation. Skip the balcony, book the inside cabin, and use that extra cash for excursions, drinks, or even another cruise. If your itinerary is port-intensive, you know, where you're off the ship nearly every day, why pay more for a view you won't be there to enjoy? Now, flip that. If you're sailing through Alaska, Iceland, or Norway, the kind of destinations where the view is the experience, then yes, a balcony might actually be worth it. Waking up to glaciers and fjords, that's once-in-a-lifetime stuff. And here's a big one. If you're the type of traveler who values slow mornings, private downtime, room service in robes, you might genuinely enjoy the space and vibe of a balcony or suite. But if you're like me, the kind of cruiser who wants to explore every deck, hit every show, and squeeze every ounce of adventure out of the trip, then you don't need a balcony. You need a charging station, a shower, and a place to crash. That's it. You don't need your cabin to be a destination, because the ship and the journey already is. And if that sounds like you, then an inside cabin just makes sense. That's why I almost always stay in an inside cabin. And maybe you should too. Let me know in the comments, what kind of cabin do you usually book and why? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell, so you never miss a new tip from CruiseBlog. Thanks for watching, and happy cruising. So you're thinking about rolling the dice on a cruise ship casino, or maybe you already did, and you're wondering, wait, why didn't anyone tell me this stuff before I sat down at the slots? Well, you're in luck, because today, we're pulling back the curtain on what I wish I knew about cruise ship casinos before I ever stepped foot in one. No fluff, no filler, just the real deal on what actually matters once you're out at sea. Let's dive in, and be sure to stick around till the end, because the last one, yeah, it might just blow your mind. Number 1. The casino isn't open 24/7, even if you are. You might think you can wander in any time, but cruise casinos have their own rules. Unlike Vegas, cruise ships shut down their casinos while docked. Yep, no lights, no slots, no blackjack. Just an eerie, quiet space that looks like it's on a coffee break. Even at sea, slots open first. But table games? Don't expect them up and running till late afternoon, so don't plan your 10 a.m. blackjack marathon. You'll just end up pacing the carpet. Always check the cruise app or daily planner. Save yourself the walk and the disappointment. Number 2. The casino's location is no accident. Ever notice how the casino's right in your path? That's not a coincidence. It's usually smack in the middle of the action, between the bar and the buffet, right where you'll stroll by after dinner or the evening show. You hear that ding ding ding, see someone cheer at the slot machine, and suddenly, I'll just take a peek. Cruise lines want that. It's part of the design, not to trick you, but to tempt you. And it works. So if you keep getting accidentally pulled in, now you know why. Number 3. You can take free casino classes on board. Ever hover near a craps table wondering what the heck is going on? You're not alone. And guess what? Cruise lines offer free casino classes. Look in the daily planner for Learn to Play Blackjack or Intro to Roulette. These aren't dry lectures. They're fun, low-pressure tutorials where you can ask questions, practice hands, and learn without risking a cent. Number 4. Slot winnings go to your room key, not a ticket. Okay, this one messed me up the first time. You win on a slot machine, you hit cash out, and nothing prints. Why? Because your winnings go directly onto your room key. That key card is your casino wallet. No paper, no ticket. And if you didn't insert your card when you started playing, yikes! You'll need a casino host to manually help you cash out. Pro tip, always insert your card before you spin. And when you're ready to cash out for real money, go to the cashier, not the machine. It's different, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually kind of slick. Number 5. The casino is the busiest spot on the ship at night. Think the ship goes quiet after the show? Nope. That's when the casino lights up like Times Square. It's buzzing. Slots ringing, blackjack tables packed, people laughing, winning, losing, and having the time of their lives. Even if you're not gambling, it's a fun place to people watch. But be warned, if you wait until 9 p.m. to grab your favorite machine or a seat at the table, good luck. It gets packed. Like circling for parking at Costco packed. So if you've got a favorite slot, show up early. Number 6. The gambling age is just 18. Yes, really. Now here's one that surprises folks. On land, you have to be 21 to gamble. But at sea, if you're 18, you're in. That's right. Slot machines, blackjack tables, craps, all fair game at 18. No need to wait for the big 2-1. There are exceptions, like Alaska sailings, which follow local laws. But for most cruises in the Caribbean or abroad, that casino door is wide open at 18. Just remember, the drinking age is still 21, so you can win at roulette, but you'll be toasting with soda. Number 7. Your winnings might not be winnings. Here's something I didn't fully understand on my first cruise. Just because the machine lights up and plays a fun tune, doesn't mean you won. In fact, a lot of cruise ship slots are set to celebrate even tiny payouts. You could put in a $5 spin, win back $2, and the machine throws a mini party like you hit the jackpot. Ding ding ding, happy music, confetti graphics. Meanwhile, you just lost $3. It's called a false win. And casinos do it to keep you playing. Cruise ship machines, they love doing this. So when that screen lights up and flashes winner, double check the numbers. You might just be celebrating a loss in style. Number 8. Your casino play can earn free cruises. Okay, now this is one of those tips most passengers never realize. Every time you play in the casino, you're earning points behind the scenes. And if you earn enough, cruise lines might just invite you back for free. Yep, free cruise offers, cabin, meals, even drinks in some cases. These comps go out to players who rack up enough points during a sailing, and sometimes you don't even have to be a big spender. Here's the secret. Insert your key card every time. Even if you're just dropping $20, the casino host tracks everything, and if they see consistent play, they may flag you for casino offers, which means deeply discounted or even complimentary sailings in the future. Think of it like the cruise version of frequent flyer miles, but instead of miles, it's spins and chips. Number 9. You can ask for casino loss statements and maybe write it off. Now here's one for the seasoned players. If you're spending a bit of time and money in the casino, did you know you can request a win-loss statement? It's a summary of your gambling activity for the cruise. Total played, total won, total lost. And for U.S. residents who file itemized taxes, it could be tax deductible. Let me be clear, I'm not giving financial advice here. Always check with your tax person. But many players use these statements to offset gambling winnings they report elsewhere. Even if you're not itemizing taxes, it's still a great way to track your play, especially if you want to get into casino comp programs later. So don't be shy. Stop by the casino desk and ask for your statement. It's free, and it's smarter than pretending those quarters didn't add up. Number 10. The table minimums can be higher than you think. If you're dreaming of $1 blackjack hands, cruise ships might give you a reality check. Table minimums, especially at night, can be surprisingly steep. It's not unusual to see $10, $15, even $25 minimums for blackjack or poker, and those go up fast when the tables are full. Sure, sometimes in the early afternoon you'll find a $5 table, but by 8 p.m., you better be ready to drop some serious chips. Why? Limited table space, fewer dealers, and cruise lines know you're a captive audience at sea. If you're budget conscious, check the table minimums before sitting down, or try your luck earlier in the day when things are quieter. Either that, or get really good at poker face, so no one knows you just bet your spa budget. Number 11. The casino gives out surprise freebies, but you have to ask. Here's a little secret: casino hosts can hand out free stuff, but they don't always advertise it. I've gotten free drinks, slot credits, even little gifts just by being friendly and asking. The trick? Be polite, be a regular, and let them know you're enjoying the casino. After a few visits, swing by the casino host desk and say, "Hey, any offers available on my account?" If they've seen your key card in the machines or at the tables, there's a good chance they'll toss you something. Sometimes it's $10 in free play. Sometimes it's a drink voucher. Sometimes it's a lanyard that you'll never wear but feel weirdly proud of. Either way, it's free stuff for playing the games you were going to play anyway. So there you go. 6 things I seriously wish I knew before I ever set foot in a cruise casino. You might still lose a few bucks. Hey, that's gambling. But now, you'll be playing smarter and hopefully walking away with more than just confusion. And if this helped at all, even just one aha moment, give that like button a tap and consider subscribing for more cruise tips you actually want to hear. Oh, and don't miss part 2, where we get into the wild perks, weird rules, and some casino hacks I probably shouldn't be talking about. Click that next video and I'll meet you there. Thanks for watching, and good luck at the tables.